lasting hydration from nature's most amazing moisturizers, raw moisturizing honey, and conditioning shea butter. These ingredients pull moisture from the hair to boost, strengthen, and restore the oldest and weakest parts of your hair, your ends, helping to keep them stronger. Wow, beautiful hair. Strong ends. Dry, damaged, breaking hair and no hair growth? Strong ends? Whoa, I'm not cutting this hair for anything. Weak, thinning edges due to weaves and braids. Strong ends? Longer and free of split ends. Get supercharged from roots to end with BioCare Lab's Strong Ends Honey and Shea Butter Infused Relaxer and Hair Growth Product. Available retail at CNC Superfoods on the Bay Road and wholesale at CNC Trading on the CAP Southville Industrial Park. Telephone 465-4081.
Trustworthy, secure, reliable, and responsive. These are just some of the words customers use to describe their experience with the Bank of Nevis Limited. And after 35 years of delivering excellent customer service and honoring our corporate social responsibilities in the island of Nevis, we are finally coming to St. Kitts. Come and experience why we're not just another option. We are the standard. Bond strong.
His Excellency the Governor General Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, GCMG CVO QCJP LLD, yesterday Good Friday, 2nd April 2021, relayed to His Excellency Tom Lee, Ambassador of the Republic of China, Taiwan, profound sympathy on behalf of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and his own behalf. His Excellency had learned of the tragic loss of life in Taiwan as a result of a train accident. His Excellency recalled his visit to Taiwan when he traveled on their very efficient train service. His Excellency the Governor General requested the Taiwanese ambassador to transmit his message of goodwill and best wishes to Her Excellency President Tsai Ing-wen and the government and people of Taiwan. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Timothy Harris says Easter is a time when we come together with our family and with our friends to draw strength from the resurrection of Jesus Christ. As the Federation joins the global Christian community in the celebration of Easter, Prime Minister Harris, in addressing the nation, said the Easter story teaches us that no matter how bad things may seem, our faith will always lead us to a new beginning.
This past year, our Federation, as many other countries around the world, has experienced the impact of COVID-19 on lives and our livelihoods. The COVID-19 pandemic has left a scar across our economy and our society, as it did across the globe. We are grateful to God that St. Kitts and Nevis has so far weathered the COVID-19 pandemic better than most countries. But we are not yet out of the woods. We still have a distance to travel on the long road to recovery and growth sustainability.
Looking back at the uncertainties of the pandemic last year, the Prime Minister urged citizens and residents to take advantage of the opportunities afforded to us and be thankful for God's mercies.
Last Easter, we prayed that the pandemic would not cause anyone to die here in St. Kitts and Nevis. This Easter, let us give thanks that those prayers were indeed answered, and we can now look forward to that new beginning of what we expect to be a sustainable economic recovery. Easter also presents us with a chance to focus on our own spiritual renewal. We can renew our faith, taking heart from the fact that Jesus triumphed over agony, suffering, and death.
He said more can be accomplished when we work together, one people and one world. As the Federation continues to promote growing local, buying local, and eating local, Minister of Agriculture Honorable Alexis Jeffers says he is pleased that persons are getting more involved in homegrown agriculture.
Here on the island of St. Kitts, I'm happy to see what I'm seeing. I'm happy that persons are now seeing the need to grow more local products, eat more local food, and thus ensuring that we have a much healthier federation. I want to ensure that we continue with this.
Minister Jeffers was at the time attending the second hosting of the night market on Wednesday. He said the future of agriculture in the Federation looks bright as these efforts assist with food security and sustainability.
It feels good. Future looks bright in agriculture, and I'm happy to be the Minister of Agriculture saying this, because there are times when we speak a good game, but the actions are not there to show. I'm happy both what we're saying and the results are there to show. So I want to continue to press on with these events, continue to press on with the efforts that we are exerting at this time, and also most of all to encourage our farmers to do more to ensure that we have food security and sustainability in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Minister of Agriculture Honorable Alexis Jeffers. In all the national news, for the second consecutive year, the ongoing pandemic will hinder the hosting of the Easter Monday Basil Henderson Aquatic Sports Meet. Organizer for the event, cultural preservationist Winston Zach Nisbet, joined Tony Nias on Franklin Candid on ZIZ Radio on Wednesday, where he shared that after consultation with the National COVID-19 Task Force, the decision was taken to forego this year's event.
This year would be 64 years, and I've waited. I spoke to the authorities. I spoke to Mr. Abias Samuel quite a while now, and he said they would have met and discussed it. It's just recently he got back to me about 3 to 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago he called me and told me that the committee met and they had the discussion extent, and they recognize the volume of crowds we have and the persons associating themselves with the bars, and the crowd is getting larger. And they decide that in the interest we should not have it.
Zach used the opportunity to thank sponsors who have contributed significantly to the event over the past years.
The statue is important, and we're going to have a week of activities. I want to have a spelling bee competition where the questions will be based on the development of some of the persons who are involved in the 4-H, a history about them, those who came through. We will also have 65 plaques I want to get, so that you can give out to persons who have contributed to the development of the whole planning and everything over the years. We're going to have other activities in between. So to culminate the whole thing, we want to have even a dance as well after the banquet.
Erected of Basil Henderson, who started the event in 1951. The Basil Henderson Aquatic Sports Meet is usually held on Easter Monday and attracts hundreds of spectators and participants for games including the greasy pole, swimming races, boxing, bun on a string, and other activities. After the break, Golden Years Club to be reintroduced in St. Kitts, and TDC hosts vaccination information session for staff. Stay with us.
Here are your Hornsford Value Mart IGA Value Club Blue Tag Specials for March 29th through April 11th. Oranges, $1.25 each. Essential Everyday Bar Cheeses, $7.99. Tropicana Twister or regular, $7.99. Essential Everyday or IGA Saltine Crackers, $6.99. VO5 shampoos or conditioners, $4.79. And now introducing our very low weekly value deal. Chicken drumsticks or thighs, $4.99 per tray. Essential Everyday Dry Roasted Peanuts, $9.99. Icy Box Drinks, $8.99. IGA Real Mayonnaise, $10.99. Pillsbury Brownie Mix, $4.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart. Sea listo y haga sus compras a Value Mart.
There is no better time to discover what your National Bank Visa debit or black cards can do.
Mimi, what's that song?
It can get you out of a pickle. Using my National Bank Visa card is fast, secure, and convenient.
Cashless SKN is our new lifestyle choice. National Bank, always here.
Welcome back. Seniors in St. Kitts will be given the opportunity to stay active, mingle with each other, interact with younger generation, and pass on their knowledge when the Department of Community Development and Social Services reintroduces the Golden Years Club. Hanif Charles, Community Development Officer and Secretary on the Seniors Enrichment Program Committee, said that it is extremely important to have the Golden Years Club re-established in the Federation. He said having seniors going out prevents isolation and psychological issues. He also noted there will be clubs in various communities utilizing the community centers. According to information from www.socialservices.gov.kn, the Golden Years Club was established in St. Paul's in 2004 as a recreational group and training program for older persons. Funded by the Canadian Caribbean Initiative, the Golden Years Club provided seniors with the opportunity to socialize and partake in exercise classes and stimulating activities such as arts and craft, healthy meal preparation, and basic computer classes. After the St. Paul's group was established, a second club was formed in Keon in 2006, incorporating and training seniors in that community, as well as several older persons who had been made redundant by the closure of the sugar factory in 2005. And finally, on the local scene, as part of its COVID-19 response agenda, the executive and management team of TDC took another step towards educating its staff about the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination program. On Thursday, Nutrition Surveillance Coordinator in the Ministry of Health, Latoya Matthew Duncan, made a presentation to the staff at TDC Training Room on 4th Street. Immediately following the session, a COVID-19 vaccination clinic led by Nurse Williams Campbell was held to administer the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. The first dose was administered to Mr. Earl Kelly, Group Chairman, followed by senior managers and staff who volunteered. According to Mr. Kelly, the COVID-19 vaccination program, like similar programs in the past, is very important to ensure the protection and long-term health and well-being of our staff, customers, and by extension, their families. He added TDC continues to play our part in achieving the 70% target. In the short term, to return to normalcy and reopen the economy fully. A similar session is already being organized for the staff on Nevis. Coming up in regional news, no date set for St. Lucia general elections. The details when we come back.
Everything's gotta go! Horseroads Automotive, everything gotta go! Clearance sale is happening now! All 2018, 2019, and 2020 models gotta go! Yes! Come to Horseroads Automotive and get $10,000 off select 2020 models! That's right! Horseroads Automotive is making room for 2021 by offering $10,000 off select 2020 models! And that's not all! Come now and get 0% down payment! No payment until May 2021! $500 in free groceries, free servicing for 1 year, free bill of sale, free tinting, free registration, free accessories, and free licensing. Horseroads Automotive, everything gotta go clearance sale. The biggest clearance sale event of the year. Select 2020 vehicles, price to go. Everything gotta go. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is rolling out Dcash, the next step in the evolution of the EC dollar. Use Dcash to send and receive money to and from friends and family. Make payments directly from your smart device. Make payments from wherever you are. Download the app from the Google Play or Apple Store and sign up, or visit dcashec.com for more information. The future of the EC dollar is digital. Let's make history together.
Now to news on the regional scene. Prime Minister of St. Lucia, Alan Chasnet, says no date has been set for general elections as yet. The Prime Minister has, however, reiterated that elections will be called well within the constitutionally stipulated time frame.
According to Prime Minister Alan Chasnet, there are many factors that need to be taken into consideration before an election date can be called. Many have speculated that the elections would be called before the anniversary of the last one in June. But Prime Minister Chasnet has pointed out that elections can be called past that date.
There are things that have to happen in order for us to feel comfortable in calling the elections. But we're mindful of our constitutional requirements.
Right.
And I can assure every single St. Lucian, this party has never and will never be in breach of the law. And so the Parliament automatically dissolves on July 12th of this year. So there's a lot of people, oh, June 6th. June 6th is just the date of the last election.
Right.
Parliament is for 5 years.
Right.
So it's 5 years from the first date of Parliament. So that's July 12th
Right.
of 2016. So Parliament automatically dissolves on July 12th, 2021. And you have 90 days in which to call the election. Now, if we dissolve Parliament before July 12th of 2021, whatever date we dissolve it, you have 90 days to call the election.
The Prime Minister says he is currently monitoring the progression of the COVID situation locally, as the health and safety of citizens must be ensured before elections can be called.
People's health concerns are critical because campaigning does go against protocols, whether we like it or not.
Right.
And so, you know, can I rely on the fact that we're going to all be vaccinated before I have to call elections? So there are too many uncertain things right now for me to say exactly when the elections are going to be. But if we have to have elections because constitutionally they're required, then we will do so. But I
do you
certainly
think it's responsible? It will be responsible of us to consider having an election if the COVID situation is not handled properly?
And that's a problem. It's been a global problem. I mean, America had elections in the middle of COVID, and that's the dilemma, Scotty, that we run into, is that you have a constitution, we're a country that follows the law, and these are the complications. Now, there's a difference between having to have the election and exposing people, and then making the deliberate decision to have elections and exposing people.
The Prime Minister has clapped back at the SLP, which has called for elections to be announced. The Constitution, he says, gives him the exclusive right to call it when he so desires.
It's kind of ironical or, hilarious to watch people on the other side jumping up and down, trying to determine when the elections is or demanding when elections are going to be. And as I said to people, if you guess often enough, you will get it right at some point.
Right.
But at this point, it's not the noise of the Labour Party that is going to cause or influence when the elections are going to be. The elections will be called when I think that we're ready for elections as a country.
In any case, says the nation's leader, whenever he does set a date, the health and safety of St. Lucians will be prioritized. For the DBS News World, I am Zane Romulus.
Coming up, Iraq plans to inoculate 8 million begins. We'll tell you more when we come back.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
Welcome back. Iraq has received more than 250,000 of AstraZeneca vaccines through COVAX, the United Nations-backed vaccine alliance led by the World Health Organization. The government aims to inoculate 20% of the population of 40 million by the end of the year. That goal could prove difficult, as Al Jazeera's Simona Fulton reports from Baghdad, Iraq.
After months of delay and contradictory messages from the Ministry of Health, Iraq's COVID-19 vaccination campaign has begun.
We've now received 336,000 vaccines, and they've been distributed according to plan to health clinics across Iraq. The priority are health workers, security forces, the elderly, and people with immunity disorders.
That prioritization plan has yet to be implemented. The government first asked people to register online, but because of limited uptake, it then opened the doors to everyone, including young people like Faisal.
There isn't enough encouragement from the government to take the vaccine. So I don't have the priority to take the vaccine, but I know if I don't come and take it, maybe it would get expired and nobody's going to take it.
Indeed, this batch of vaccines expires at the end of May. Authorities race against time to mobilize a reluctant public that distrusts both the government and science. 65-year-old Abderrahman should be a priority candidate. He suffers from hypertension, diabetes, and had one of his kidneys removed. But he has no intention of getting the vaccine.
People are scared, especially the elderly. Vaccines contain cortisol, which can stop the lungs. So if you ask the elderly about taking the vaccine, their answer will be no.
Iraq's government is facing a dual challenge when it comes to inoculating the population. On one hand, it must convince people to get the vaccine, and at the same time, it's struggling to secure doses from global suppliers. The AstraZeneca inoculations Iraq has received are part of 16 million doses it has been allocated under COVAX, the global vaccine alliance, to ensure equitable distribution of vaccines. But the World Health Organization's top official in Iraq says delivering on those commitments has been a challenge, as producing countries prioritize their own needs.
The COVAX facility have had some delays because the manufacturers did not produce as much vaccines to honor the estimated doses to be distributed.
While those vaccines are pending delivery, new COVID-19 cases are hovering above 5,000 daily as the country experiences its highest levels of infection since the onset of the pandemic. Simona Foltin, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
Up next is sports. Trinidad government bans recreational sports, and Kevin Durant fined for homophobic language. Stay tuned.
Imagine having the luxury of putting all your trust in one insurance company and being able to enjoy life to the fullest without having to worry. Well, don't imagine. National Caribbean Insurance is here to take care of all your insurance needs. Insure your life, vehicle, boat, home, belongings, and your future. At NCI, we make it our business to ensure that you enjoy every stage in life. We serve, we protect, we satisfy. That's NCI.
The upsurge in COVID-19 cases has prompted the government to ban recreational sports once again. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram confirmed 3 additional COVID-19 deaths, bringing this country's total to 145. Additionally, there were 46 new COVID-19 cases. Mahalia Joseph Wharton has more.
From April 2nd, recreational team sports will be banned for yet another time. Minister of Health Terence Diyar Singh said the decision was necessary as they have noticed that persons participating in these activities do not follow the public health guidelines.
But what we have noticed is that it is more than 22 people. The after-game line is becoming dangerous, where food and drink start to come out and people are congregating without mask wearing. So we are going back to how we were. So there will be, for the time being, until further advice, we'll be rolling back the recreational sports for team and contact sports, both indoors and outdoors.
He said, however, it won't affect international and national teams from training for their international commitments. The minister is urging the population to be cautious during the holiday period.
We need to go back to the discipline we had in October, November, December, January, and into the early part of February. As a team, we need to go back to that type of discipline where we adhere to the public health measures. This is especially important as we go into the Easter weekend.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Roshan Parasram shared the same sentiment.
Anytime you congregate without a mask, you find that you put yourself and you put those other persons at risk. Remembering that this is an invisible virus, it requires persons can spread it without symptoms as well as asymptomatic. So we have to, recognizing the increase in numbers in country, the viral load across the board is higher, therefore the likelihood of spread is much greater at this point in time, and we need to look at our behaviors.
Dr. Parasram said the rise in cases coincides with the decision in February to reintroduce recreational team sports. Mahalia Joseph Wharton, TTT News.
Two-time NBA champion Kevin Durant has apologized for the language he used in a social media exchange with actor and comedian Michael Rappaport. Rappaport has shared images of private messages sent to him by the Brooklyn Nets forward, which included homophobic and misogynistic language. The NBA fined Durant $50,000 on Friday for the use of offensive and derogatory language on social media. "I'm sorry that people have seen the language I use," said Durant, 32. "That's not what I want people to see or hear from me, but hopefully I can move past it and get back out there." Brooklyn Nets coach Steve Nash said the incident had been addressed in a private conversation with Durant, who was the 2014 Most Valuable Player. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. And now for a recap of the top stories. Prime Minister Harris shares Easter message. Agriculture Minister pleased with success of the agriculture sector. And no Easter aquatic sports this year. And that's the end of the ZIZ at Channel 5 newscast. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Scotticia Hendrickson. Have a safe weekend.